Hello, this is Starshot here to welcome you back to another Let's Play of Legend of Heroes. We last left off finishing up exploring floor 2 and 3, and also taking care of the captain over here who would of course give us some trouble, but we soundly thrashed her. And now, with her out of the way, we can continue with the second half of the dungeon and see what else we can find. So, let's get started. I'll pretty much stick with the current party I have. I don't feel there's any need to change it. It's just kind of what characters you like to have and their abilities. And I kind of am happy with how everyone is. I'm not sure there's any too much of a big disadvantage or advantage depending on which party members you have, but I think it's more of just a personal choice of which ones you like to choose. And we found an EP charge EX, so that'll help out. What? The stuff you took before wasn't enough? No, it's never enough. We always want better gear and better stuff whenever we find treasure, right? But yeah, so we'll finish. I'll try seeing what else we can find. And you can see there's a few other bots around, but with all the battles we've done with the treasure chests, we should be at a pretty good level. We won't have to worry about that. Another EP. The chest is empty. Nefarious. I think that's the third one we've found so far that said that. You know, I guess I'm not sure if they've run out of things to say or if that's just gonna be a running joke for some of these chests. But yeah, so as I said before in the last video, my overall critique of the game is pretty much a solid finish it. I think, like, if you do want to get all the side quests and all the extra stuff, then that's up to you. But I think you only really need to kind of finish it. At least that's what I would recommend for most players. If you're a really hardcore RPG fan, you should totally complete this, because it's, you know, there isn't too much reason not to, since you have the turbo mode, which helps expedite things a bit, and you kind of have everything then it really does help to have all the extra gear and stuff. Oh wow, we have those weird mecha droids we have to deal with this time. But at least it's not the A-cancelers, it's just the ones that keep casting arts. But they themselves don't have any specific advantages or disadvantages, so we just keep arting them to death and hope that works. Let's see, so for the most part, definitely playing through this game again, I'm reminded of, I guess I'm trying to think back, because when I first played this was back probably when I was in high school, or college actually. It was college when I first played this. And, you know, so at the time, I was still kind of figuring out what I wanted to do, and I was just going through classes, kind of seeing what I liked, what I disliked, how stuff worked out. I wasn't the best student, but I wasn't bad, so but definitely playing through this game again, it kind of makes me think back to a lot of the other games I played back then, back when the Nintendo DS was around, back when I was still playing on I'm pretty sure my PS2, or I'm not sure if I had a PS3 yet. And thankfully, some of them are kind of out of it, so that helps. And I guess where I'm trying to go with this is that all the different games that I've played, and that even though I've played maybe newer and sometimes even better RPGs since I've once played this one, I still find this a fairly solid and good game to play. Like, there are some games that have definitely aged well and others that haven't, for various reasons. Whether it be its art style, its mechanics, or just how things kind of worked back then. You know, some you can forgive, some you can't. Like I guess most recently, I tried playing through Mega Man ZX for the DS. Or I've been playing quite a few DS games, Mega Man ZX being one of them. And, you know, playing through it again, of course, I got fairly frustrated with the game and eventually just put it down and haven't played it again since. But I remember when I played it the first time, I think I was more tolerant of the game and I was able to play through it since it was one of the few games and it was a Mega Man game. But that's kind of what you do sometimes. And then we go ahead and move her, so let's, why is she, yeah, let me try and move her over here, so hopefully, oh no, okay, so he's actually targeting that exact spot. Let's see, but my Shadow Spear should go ahead and take care of that. And can I go ahead and get a good heal in here? Okay, so not before he casts his spell. So I guess I'm better off just moving her out of the way. And hopefully this one hits. Yeah, oh well, I guess no KO right there. Oh, and it still hit her anyway. I thought she was out of range. But it did save Estelle at least, so she's fine. Yeah, I'm mostly just gonna focus on this one. And so, like, definitely that game, I think, hasn't aged well. It still looks good, it still plays alright, but just with some of the choices they made in terms of how things were implemented or went, I just couldn't possibly continue playing the Mega Man ZX like I maybe once did. Oh cool, I got enough damage to take it down. Alright, and for some reason he critical too? Okay, that's kind of weird. Oh well. I'm sure I'll live without a... Oh, we got some more Atlas gear. Even though that's only for guys, so there's not much I can do with this party. I'd point and laugh, but I have no fingers. I'm glad you don't, treasure chest, because, mimics. I really do find them annoying sometimes in some games. I'm wondering who first created that, or who first came up with the idea of having mimics implemented in games. I'd like to give him a punch to the face. Let me go ahead and get a all-over heal here, so we're ready for the future battles. But yeah, and then, like, I'm trying to think of what other games haven't aged well. Like, I guess when it comes to the N64 games, like, a few of them definitely, graphics-wise, show their age, and just, they don't always look that great, but they still play fairly well for the most part. Another Terra Bomb. It's empty. You only have yourself to blame. I guess so, but I'd rather not blame myself if possible. So, oh, another chest. And another Terra Bomb. And what? The stuff you took before wasn't enough? We already got that one earlier, so I have not much of a comment for that. But yeah, so I guess the next game I would have to think about that hasn't aged well, or maybe has aged well, would be, I guess, I'm trying to think what's another, well, I guess a lot of the Mega Man games, I played through some of them recently, with all the news going on about Mega Man 11, or when that happened. I was excited to hear that. And so I went ahead and played some old Mega Man games again for fun. Oh, here we go. This might be a big one. Yep, here it is. And so I played through those, and like, like they still play well enough, and they look like I can understand why they look the way they do, and I don't blame them, or I don't find it. Like I'm not sure how many people find pixel art or the way some of the older games looked kind of annoying, or they don't care for it at all. I can understand that, at least, since they were definitely old school, but since I grew up with that stuff, I was completely fine with that, as long as it played well and I could have fun with it. But man, playing through the first Mega Man again was a test in endurance, because of just how annoying some of the things in there were. And the biggest thing I remember, or the biggest thing I noticed when I played through it, was of how quickly you would drop. Like, as soon as you traveled like maybe a frame or two, you would just drop like a rock. You know, just quick down right into the abyss of death. No questions asked, no slight good deceleration. You just went zip right down into the hole you were falling into. And so that was a bit frustrating to deal with, but I got over that. But what I had really trouble dealing with was some of the times when I would jump onto these platforms that would actually try to shoot you, or were actually kind of like enemies, but you could, you know, land on them and use them as a platform because they flew around. But because of how the platforms moved, you couldn't really get an idea of exactly where you had to go, or like it wouldn't always go where you needed it to. It didn't have any uniform path it took, so that was also really annoying to deal with. Like, I guess for the most part, a lot of the like, it's not unplayable because they did implement this one item that helps, but overall the game was just frustrating to deal with. And that, thankfully, it's a fairly short game, so the frustration only lasts for as long as you decide it would. Compared to other games where, you know, if you couldn't even progress at all, or you didn't feel like you were making any progress, then you usually just give up and move on and play something else. So, and then I guess when it comes to a lot of the older RPGs, I think most of them do hold up. Like, I think there are very few that I'm not sure, you know, like, I think, because quite a while ago I played through Suikoden 1 and 2, and I can see why people really did like them. But I actually did go through the process of trying to get all the different characters. You know, all 180 Stars of Destiny, as they were called. And as interesting as that was, I found it a bit of a chore, and, like, I guess I couldn't get into it as much. Like, the game and just how it looks, I think, played alright. But I guess overall, I would find it an alright RPG. Like, it's not definitely one of my top favorites. Out of any RPGs I've played. Like, I think it's just okay. So hopefully no one tries to persecute me or crucify me for that statement, but yeah, so that's that. Of course, that's just my opinion. I know there are plenty of people out there who probably really like the game, or have put it really, you know, have fond memories of the game. But for me personally, it was just alright. You know, pretty much the games I pretty much tout as being great and awesome, and I would still love to play again or see more of, like, would be Super Mario RPG. You know, I'm still waiting for Square to team up with Nintendo again for another one, whenever they get around to it. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who would too, just to see Mallow and Geno again. Let's see, and then Secret of Mana. I think that one probably hasn't aged as well as other games have, but it's kind of funny how much people still love it, and I still love it, even though I know it has its flaws. Let's see, or yeah, just Name Bomb Breath here. And so, like, because I know when you look at the script, or the dialogue for the game, It's definitely not as good, or anywhere near as good as here in Legend of Heroes. Like, I think the next game that has very good dialogue in it would probably be the Xenoblade Chronicle games. I can't remember if Xenogears had good dialogue or not. And I can't remember how good Xeno Saga was. That's definitely one of those games I feel like I should try playing through again. But, you know, it's just, I haven't gotten around to it because I'm too busy playing Legend of Heroes here and wanting to play the other ones as well as plenty of other stuff. But I'll see what I can do about getting to those games. Yeah, so I think we're a bit better set now in terms of XP between Joshua and Estelle here. And then at least Tita here is kind of where we need her to be in terms of leveling. And Chihiro's a bit ahead, but that's just par for the course. And we just picked up some Sylvan boots. Hey, close my lid. What, were you born in a barn? Nope, I was born in a hospital. Let's see. Oh yeah, I just got some new boots, so let's see what we're working with. Oh cool, now we have some women's only boots. Mysterious boots that make your feet feel lighter than air. And also help with the defense too, so I'll give Estelle here that, since she's always a fan of new shoes. Let's see. But of course I am excited for the Secret of Mana remake. And I'm sure I'll get to that at some point. Who knows, maybe when it comes out, I don't know yet. But let's see, and then I'm trying to think what else. What else hasn't or has aged well in terms of gaming prowess that I can remember. I wonder how much farther we have to go. I wasn't sure if there was another level 4 or a level 5 we had to get to. Because for now, I'm just trying to... Okay, apparently I've been through this hallway before. Yeah, as you can see, this is a bit of a maze. So, but thankfully we don't have to worry about encounters. That helps speed things along. Oh, here we go, another chest. Just an EP charge, so we seem to be getting plenty of those, which will definitely, I guess, will definitely help out. But yeah, so I guess in terms of gaming, you know, it's up to you kind of what you feel like has or hasn't aged well in terms of gaming. Okay, and I just ended up back here, so let me go ahead and just rest. And let's see, so we got searched in this room already. Okay, I need to check over here. But I think, yeah, I think I already looked in this area here, which had that hallway and the chest. Yeah, I guess this is definitely one of the games that if you really want to, I would think you would want to try and actually make your own map. See if you can kind of do that. So you don't get lost, since you don't get a map for some of these dungeons. Huh, I've already been through here apparently. And over here. You know, to kind of keep track. I know it's kind of funny. I know there are a few games I probably should have done that for back in the day. Oh yeah, here's an elevator here. So I guess I'm wondering if I have found everything or not. I think I have, so I'll go ahead and go downstairs and go to the next floor here. And let's see, so... Oh yeah, so lately I've been playing through Dark Souls 3, by the way. I actually played the original Demon Souls, and it was kind of funny. I actually remember the day when I got the game too. Found Tyrol, and say, haven't we met before? No, but you do look very familiar. But the day I got Dark Soul or Demon Souls was when I had picked up some other games, but I decided to return one because of just how bad it was. And instead of getting my money back, I traded it for a game of equal value. And that game of equal value was Demon Souls. Of course, I asked the clerk, you know, because I had heard the game was really hard, and I was wondering if that was something I had to worry about or watch out for. But he assured me that it was fine, and so I decided to pick it up and play it. And of course, I was surprised at how difficult the game was, but it's something I kind of persevered, and I felt like even though with each death I had went through, I was still progressing more and more and was getting better at it. So I didn't feel like I was always set back as badly, since you got checkpoints and it was an interesting world to discover and monsters to explore, traps to handle and overtake and all that. So I was surprised at just how good the game was and how fun it was. And also just how different it was too, and funny enough how it was a Japanese game even though it looked like a Western one. So for the most part, I've been a fan of the Souls series ever since. And I've played through Dark Souls 1, 2, and now I'm currently playing through 3. And I've made some decent progress, but I feel like the series itself maybe have lost some of its appeal in recent years. Only because, maybe because of just how many games they've had now, and that the game doesn't feel as interconnected as the world you kind of explore in. Feels a lot more separated when you just kind of teleport from one place to another. Even though technically you sort of do kind of discover it, or you do discover new areas by going through other areas. But I guess maybe I feel like it's like maybe the teleport was maybe implemented too soon or something. I don't know. But I guess it would be weird for the game not to have that ability to teleport though, since of how important it is to be able to get around. Just think how difficult things would be if you couldn't teleport from bonfire to bonfire. That was a little close, but thankfully we pulled through there. And we got the Eber Blades. Nice. New one for Joshua. Ask again later. I could see that one actually being a little funny, especially if you keep going to it asking. But yeah, let's go ahead and get these new blades on you. Yeah, just 30 plus, so it does help. It would be nice if the blades or some of the weapons had extra abilities, like being able to recover health or being able to do poison damage or something sometimes. I think that it would be interesting to see, for some of it at least. Some of the weapons, they don't have to be all powerful or things like that. But I guess that's maybe what some games could be missing sometimes. That little extra oomph of ability when it comes to some of the weapons. But maybe they expand on that in the other games and... You came back! I knew you would! Sorry, I feel like it is a personal thing that I have to say all the lines for each treasure chest, since they did actually put effort into giving each chest a line, even if a few of them are copy-pasted maybe. Well, let's see, so we got an area up here I haven't explored yet, so hopefully we find our way there. But yeah, so I guess that's the only thing I would find is missing from this game, is that some more interesting or super orbments or weapons to kind of push things over the edge, like, you know, because that's always the fun thing of being able to do some of the extra stuff in RPGs. Like, I think I talked about part of it before, like in Final Fantasy X, when you get all the weapons for all of them, and they're super powerful, and you actually cap over their damage. But I guess that's kind of the funny thing. This game was originally for the computer and PSP, so I think it's a much smaller game, even though it's definitely a long time. But if you just look at our level here, you see that we're only like level 35, and in most RPGs you usually at least hit level 50 before you get near the end of the game. So when do you plan on giving me my stuff back? Never! Sorry, I felt like I had to do that line there since he asked. But let's see, so... Wait, that just led to the elevator there. So let me look a little bit more around before taking that elevator. Oh, here we go, another chest. And some more monsters for us to face. But yeah, so... I think that's like... I think that little bit extra of either some more interesting bonus side quests or an extra dungeon would really bring this game over the edge in like just a bonus thing you could do for it compared to. But like, you know, they definitely put their time and energy into this game. You see most of their work definitely went into the story and dialogue for it. So, you know, I think like, and that's fine to put your time in, especially for a game that, you know, does so well with the premise and story that, you know, you won't mind as much if it doesn't have some of the extra gameplay content for it. But I guess that's always a question to ask, you know, how much should you focus on a game's story, and then how much should you focus on like the game's mechanics or content to it, and making it a memorable and fun game for people to play. You know, but I think that's always the question of, like, what do you want people to think of when they play your game? You know, for some it's, you know, they want to give people a challenge. For others, they want to be left with a sense of accomplishment. And then other times, it's just a great story to, you know, listen to or hear about. Almost like reading a book. Except it's a lot more interactive and fun to do sometimes than just reading a bunch of words on a screen and having them try to describe the situation or problem to you. And hopefully I can kind of kill them in not too long before they kill me here. Because I'm getting a bit low here. Okay, yeah, so we're getting a bit low here. But we are, like, they are pretty close to death. Okay, but she won't hit that before they go off. Same with that. So what would be the best thing I could do? Actually, let me go ahead and clock up Tita here. Or, no, that won't go off before he casts his art. I may just have to use my craft move instead, just to get rid of it before he does anything.
Someone's been naughty.
Because right now he could kill the entire party if I don't stop him here. And that's always something to keep an eye out for. So with that taken care of, now we just focus on the last one here. And the broken piece guy here. Might as well take care of him while we have the chance. So, you know, tell me what you think. Do you think this game could use more content to do? But then again, we have been playing this game for quite a while, so... You know, with how much we've done for it, I don't really see that it's lacking in content. Even if it's just missing that little bit to bring it over the edge sometimes. And we just picked up a Valkyrie dress. At least we can guess who it should probably go to. Ha ha ha! No. Aw. Couldn't you have another one in there? Let me go ahead and give our dress here to her. Actually, is the reflector better? Oh, it is a little bit, just because it gives the, Oh no, this one does it too, so... I'll just give the reflector to someone else, since they could probably use it for now. And let me go ahead and get a heal in for everyone. But yeah, so... You know, that's the only kind of critique, one of the few critiques I have for this game, is, you know, the extra content. But, like, for the most part, it's a solid, well done, great game to play. So I would recommend this to anyone, and if you're watching this, then hopefully you're playing along with me as well. Even if you aren't, then I hope you at least enjoy kind of what this game does have to offer, and to check out other games from Falcom. So I think I've searched just about everywhere around this area here. Let me just take a quick look over here. Yeah, I think that's about it. So I guess, yeah, so I've checked everything. So let's go ahead and get to the elevator for this area here. Oh cool, we've reached the bottom level. So join me next time as we explore the rest of this area and see if we finally find the Colonel and put a stop to his dastardly plans. So until then, have fun gaming.